Okay, Mark, you have the floor.
All right, and everybody can see my screen, Susan?
Yes, please go.
All right, great. Well, once again, thank you very much. And I will say it's really hard to follow Terry after a presentation like this. I mean, I do a lot of presentations, and that was a fantastic presentation. We are thrilled to be partnered up with Anyway Distribution, and I mean, we think they're going to be an incredible addition to all the great distributors we have in North America and now in Canada up there as well. And I think it's really apropos to follow Terry's presentation. We talks all about the slip resistance and all the issues that come along with that, and getting moisture off the floor and durability, et cetera. And I think having a partner like that up in Canada is exactly what Protectol needed. So our presentation is going to be on the heavy duty and light duty commercial side of the business, which Anyway is going to be distributing for us up there. We like to call our little presentation Durability Done Different. So a little bit about Protectol. We are made in Michigan, so we are a USA made product. I know that Anyway does stock some of our products, but obviously no one stocks everything. But the nice thing about us being made in Michigan, we have pretty much a short jaunt to get up into Canada with everything kind of running about 10 days. So if Terry or Chris definitely need any of our other products that we carry, it's easily shipped up to the Canadian market. A little bit about our product as far as specs go. We are 90% recycled. And honestly, the reason it changes probably less than 100% is we have to add color to our material. We get all our material from our parent company, which is Duralast Roofing. They are one of the largest vinyl roofing companies in North America. So we have complete control over where we get our raw material. It just ships down from their plant in Saginaw, Michigan. We then shred that material up and then turn it into our monolithic homogeneous PVC vinyl flooring. A little bit more about the specs of our products. We have a wide variety of spec sizes available. 5x8 is our most common, as well as 5x5s. We offer a 2x2 tile and an 18x18 interlocking tile, which we'll get into our light duty commercial. You can also get our products in a roll size of 1/4 inch and 1/8 inch. And then you have two different finishes that are available as well, matte and gloss. Matte is probably our most common, and gloss fits into our educational side of the business and our front of the house side of the business. A little bit about our installation, which we'll cover as we move forward here. We offer a cold weld, which is a 2-part product, which actually, when it is completely seamed up, is actually a stronger seam than the material itself. And if you're used to laying down regular vinyl, we offer a seam sealed product, a loose lay, and an interlock. And a little bit about specs for us. And Terry mentioned this a lot, having slip resistance, especially in an area where you get all kinds of different weather running through the territory. Having a highly slip resistant floor is important. And whether that's back of the house or front of the house, and walk-off mats is no different than what our flooring is. We offer a product with an 88 COF and a 92 wet. So our product actually gets more slip resistant as it gets wet. We have a DCOF of 43. So if you're into the newer spec side of the house, we also offer that spec information as well. But more importantly about our product, as we get into this, one of the challenges that everybody faces in a heavy duty commercial environment, and especially with products, is how do you maintain that? Because there's always different things that play around with that product. You can get a great looking floor, but then it's really tough to maintain. Or you get a great looking floor, but then it doesn't hold up. And so with our product, we've tried to make it simple. We give you this great durability, but we make it super easy to maintain. And we'll talk about this towards the end of the presentation. We don't tie any kind of cleaning to our warranty. So that makes us a lot of different compared to some of the bigger players that are out there in the world. And a little bit about us too. We have been around since the mid 1990s. So we are not new to the marketplace by any stretch of the means. A little bit about our color samples. For that front of the house environment, we have our designer series. Kind of gives you that epoxy look. It wasn't really invented to go into the back of the house, those kitchens, those heavy duty environments where grease is a big concern. This was designed and implemented because customers wanted that same durability that they're getting in the back of the house and very ease of cleaning. They wanted to take it to the front of the house. So you have customers like Freddy's Hamburgers and Freddy's Custard that took that idea and said, give us that durability up front, where we're tired of dealing with VCT, LVT, constantly being scratched, et cetera. But love your product, but dark gray doesn't go well in the front of the house where our customers are sitting. So we introduced the Designer Series. And then you see all the rest of the colors that we have available. Dark gray is our most popular, then followed up by light gray, black, terracotta, and even brown. So a wide variety of colors. I do know that Anyway does stock some of our products, so definitely check with Terry and Chris on what's available as far as stock goes. A little bit about what makes us special on the heavy duty commercial side. I've been in the business for a long time. I'm not sure as long as Chris or Terry, but probably over 20 years. And one thing that I've always found in the flooring industry is it's always a challenge to find one product that fits every application. And what you see on the heavy duty side, and as we continue on with this presentation, you'll see that Protectol pretty much fits almost every application. Our only drawback is we don't have a wood grain pattern. I always said, and I've told Terry and Chris, if I had wood grain pattern in our product, I could probably sell truckloads of this because of the durability of it. But when we look at our product here, this original aspect that we look at in this slide is our heavy duty commercial environment. It is a complete system. So everything you see here, except that little tiny drain, is part of our Protectol system that Terry and Chris support through the Canadian region here. Everything is purchased through Protectol, so it's a one-stop shop from a dealer network, from a GC network, from an end user network. No one has to worry about what product do I buy to adhere this to the floor? What product do I need to use to adhere it up against a wall? What do I need drain rings? Where do I get the drain rings? Everything is purchased through your distribution network there anyways, and everything comes out of our facility out of Michigan. So this complete system here offers your customers in that heavy duty environment a complete bathtub environment. We have had a lot of customers that require flood tests where they actually block up the drains, dam up all the doors and transitions up to 6 inches or higher, and then they've asked us to flood the entire kitchen or area that we have Protectol in to ensure and test that the floor is 100% waterproof. And I know that sounds like a lot, but in a lot of cases, a lot of our customers have issues with what's going on the second story or down the basement, et cetera, where they just cannot afford any type of flooding or leakage from the floor. And so especially in the brewery environment where microbrews have taken off, they always seem to end up in a very old part of town, that classic building. And having any kind of flooding can definitely cause some issues. So Protectol has been a perfect environment for that. So this is our complete system. Not every application in the heavy duty environment is going to require this, but when you're in an environment in a kitchen and you're dealing with a high area of grease, slip resistance, trying to get rid of those mats, and sorry, Terry, not everybody likes mats in the back of their kitchen. Protectol is that perfect fit. And as you can see here, Hilton Garden Inn is one of our customers. Netflix, Buffalo Wild Wings, and even the San Diego Zoo has moved to something with Protectol. A little bit about applications. And as I mentioned, there's not an application that I haven't found that Protectol doesn't work other than look. So if you're going up against quarry tile, been around forever, a great product, epoxy or rubber, anything where you're needing a superior slip resistance and durability, Protectol is a really good fit. Commercial kitchens is probably where we cut our teeth on, as I mentioned. It's just an area where end users and chefs especially have struggled with long-term durability and cost. In the areas of commercial kitchens and restaurants, most restaurants across the country spend 2 to 6% of their revenue trying to maintain their restaurant. And a good portion of that 2 to 6% goes towards maintaining their actual kitchen and kitchen floors. So when you look at the history of kitchen floors, a lot of people still have concrete down, or they've got epoxy, they've got quarry tile down. One of the challenges they've all faced is, how do I hold up with the grease? How do I deal with if I drop something on the floor? So with Protectol, you get that high level of slip resistance, you get a softer underfoot mentality and feel. And as we all know, a happy employee is a better employee. They get much better customer service. So when they're not standing on hard concrete, they're not standing on a quarry tile or an epoxy, they are a better employee. And plus, when you're dealing with chicken fat, which I never thought until I got into this side of the business, that chicken fat would be kind of such an aggressive chemical. It is one of the toughest things on floors around there. It can eat through just about anything. And so with Protectol, we don't have those issues. So it really is something that, since we're monolithic and we don't absorb anything, you don't get any of those smells that if you've ever walked back to your favorite restaurant, most of them have a certain type smell to them with all the moisture, all the chemicals used on the floor, all the water every night that's used on the floor to maintain that floor. You have a certain smell. With Protectol, you don't get that. What you might get at the end of the day is a nice clean smell after it's been cleaned, and that's about it. The other area where we do a lot of work in is education. And again, from their perspective, obviously we have the cafeteria and the kitchen works, but we also see the junior highs and elementary schools, they have multi-purpose rooms. So when you're doing the daddy-daughter dance, 1 minute you're doing volleyball, badminton, basketball, they wanted something they could transition over to without having to change flooring concepts. And also, they wanted something that they could put in a locker room, they could put in showers, and not have to worry about transitions from a tile floor to something else and worry about slip resistance. And at the higher level of education, the college levels have really gotten into, they don't want their kids to worry about, they're wearing their steel cleats or other high-end plastic cleats that are really slippery, have very little surface area to get traction, coming off the field, going into, say, a concrete floor around their lockers, or even some type of tile floor, and then they go into their bathroom with their bare feet. So now they can put Protectol in the showers, run it up the wall if they need to, and they run that same material out to the locker room, so the kids have the exact same slip resistant qualities from the moment they enter their locker rooms. Bathrooms. It's been one of the areas that we've seen a lot of growth with our product, and the challenge has been for everybody, as you well know, bodily fluids are super hard on anything on the floor, whether it's terrazzo, stained concrete, ceramic tile, and especially in the commercial public restroom environment. If tiles get broke, that's an issue. Bodily fluids stain and go just about tear up anything that comes in contact with that. With Protectol, as you see here with this picture, you can have yourself a really nice ceramic look, but you now have the durability that can hold up to all those bodily fluids. Stuff can be dropped in there and it's not going to tear it up. In prison environments, we are always worried about what inmates are trying to do with all their surroundings. They don't have to worry about our floor being peeled up, being chipped or dug into or gouged or anything else like that. So it's a really good environment for even super harsh environments outside of kitchens and baths. Animal care, same idea. Slip resistance, we don't think much about slip resistance in the animal environment, but we do a lot of work with Elon Musk, and one of his concerns for some of his projects that he works with people with traumatic brain injuries and pigs is they wanted to make sure that the pigs had a very slip resistant floor to walk on, but it was super easy to maintain. But also with animals who have had traumatic brain injuries or they have epilepsy, walking on concrete or an epoxy floor makes it very challenging for them if they have a leg issue or a joint issue. And if they fall, they are falling directly on concrete. With Protectol, they fall on a softer surface, and at the end of the day, you can take a hose, a deck brush, and a squeegee and clean up the floor. A little about the light-duty commercial side of our applications. This is one thing that I've always enjoyed working with Protectol is, whether it's kitchens and coolers, it's freezers to sky bridges at airports. And if you've gone through Chicago Airport at any time flying in and out of Canada or anything like that, you have probably walked on Protectol. And one of the reasons they chose us was the fact that they can spray all kinds of de-icing material and salt and all kinds of products like that on it. It can be out in the hot and humid area days during their summer, and they don't have to worry about the product shrinking, cracking, fading, or anything like that. The other aspects is waiting areas. And the front of the house, again, as we talked about earlier with regards to retail. What you see here with that checkered pattern is actually part of an ice rink. So people are coming off the ice rink with their skates still on and walking on that floor and getting their drinks and sodas, whatever they need, and then going sitting back down again. So Protectol is designed for ice skates. And as you well know, up in Canada, ice skates are a very sharp object, whether that's a professional or just in the figure skating side of things too. Fitness arenas, Protectol can handle a wide variety of weights, whether that's weight machines or free weights. We're in several of the large gym and fitness areas around the country. As I mentioned, we also, with our interlocking tiles and some of our other sizes, we have garage floors. And the nice thing about that is you can be working out in your gym one day with your car, spill oil, spill grease, gas, clean it right up since it doesn't soak up. And then you can go out there, lift your weights, do your yoga in your garage, and it doesn't smell like you're working in a gym, or excuse me, a garage, or you just had your car serviced. Same way goes with toy haulers. We see that a lot today where 1 minute, the back of your toy hauler has a nice jet ski in it, or it's got a snowmobile in it. You pull it out, the beds come down, you're sleeping in it, but your back of your toy hauler still smells like the snowmobile was sitting in it. With Protectol, you can hose out our product, squeegee it out, and since something absorbs into our floor, you're back to having a nice clean environment to sleep in. Mobile offices as well, just another area for Protectol where you can get yourself into, where again, you can be out in the harshest environment at a construction site, dragging snow and mud inside of the office. When that mobile office is done, it can be hosed out, pressure washed out, and put back into service. Where if that was VCT, LVT, or something like that, it would not hold up. As far as outdoor goes, one of the areas that we get ourselves into, what you see here is our interlocking tiles. That's been down for a while, but on the right side, whether you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan or a Yankees fan, this is Yankee Stadium. This product has been down for a very long time. And what Yankee Stadium did is they put it in all their dugouts. They also put it in the ramps that the players use to go in and out of the locker room. So you can imagine a 225-pound athlete walking on this floor with steel spikes on. It is something that puts up with a lot of abuse, puts up with a lot of pressure in sunlight, snow, rain, etc., and has been down for a very long period of time. So something durable from different aspects of different things going on out in the environment. A couple other things too. What you see here is a NASA safety pool. They have a 3-story facility that has pools on each floor, and they have Protectol on all the flooring around each pool facility. So 1 minute they have an astronaut in there doing their buoyancy test and safety testing, and the next minute they're driving forklifts on that, lifting different things out of the pool environment. This product has been down for over 14 years. And as you can imagine, there's a lot of chlorine, a lot of muriatic acid that's used with that. And you can tell this product does not have any issues with it. And we have used them for references for years. And one of the lines that we always get from the maintenance guy who's been there all this time is, why do you use this? I never have an issue with our floor. So why is that a good reference? Well, that's exactly why we like him as a reference. As I mentioned earlier, gyms, locker rooms, you can paint on our floors. You can stripe it with tape, have an environment there. You can put a gloss on our floor. The weight rooms and showers is another great example of how our floor goes. So there's all different kinds of opportunities with our floor. And lastly, as we look at this, I think it's important, again, as I mentioned earlier, one thing about commercial flooring is you're always dealing with some type of chemical. In a lot of cases, it's just mud and grime and dirt and rocks and different things like that. But as you start to get into the healthcare environments, the pet care environments, the truly industrial side of the business, the back of the house, kitchens, coolers, freezers, etc., you really struggle with how to maintain your floor. And so with Protectol, the nice thing about our floor is, again, warm water. I like Simple Green myself. It's available at all the major hardware stores across the country. But some people like Ecolab. We have schools that use Dawn dish soap. Just a deck brush, good deck brush, squeegee, and rinse it off and push it into the drain. So it's very eco-friendly as well, depending on what type of cleaner you're using too. You can power wash this. So again, if you're in an environment where you really need to take a power washer to it, you can't do that with probably 99% of the other commercial rated floors that are out there. You can also put a floor scrubber on this as well. Just depends on what pad you use. So a ton of variety of options here for cleaning. And again, nothing is tied to our warranty. So you still get our 10-year warranty, whether you're using Dawn dish soap, an Ecolab product, Simple Green from Home Depot or Lowe's or some other retailer like that. or some other products. So, and again, as I mentioned, we've been tested with nitric acid solution. So we put up a lot of different chemicals and are more than happy to test something if a dealer or an end user comes to us and say, hey, can I use this on our floor? We will definitely test that product. And we have a list of products that we've tested already. So it may be already been tested, and we would give you a pretty quick answer on that. But as you've seen with this presentation, we have a lot of different applications. And one thing too that the dealers always struggle with is, how do you take your product and put it together as far as a quote goes? And it's one thing to have a great distributor, but what makes their jobs even easier and makes the dealer's side even easier is, since we have a lot of components to our product, is we offer our material calculator through our website. This allows, it's also an app that you can download on your phone. This allows the dealer or your general contractor or your end user, if he wanted to walk his job site, take a few measurements, enter all that into the application, how many doors you have, how many drains you might have, if that's the type of application you want to have, and then press a simple button and it calculates how much material you're going to need down to the screws needed to bolt the stuff to the walls. That information can then easily be given to Terry or Chris, and they can help you calculate your costs. So from that perspective, we try to make it as easy as possible for us, for the end user and the dealer network, to use our product. And lastly, as I mentioned, we've been around for a long time, and these are just a handful of the major customers that use Protectol. And every day we're seeing more and more product being spec'd with Protectol because of the anti-slip properties, the easy cleaning of it, the overall durability of it. And with the addition of Designer Series, things have just really taken off. And I think it's fantastic that Anyway has taken on our line. And whether it's going to be our interlocking tiles for personal gyms, different applications, or it's going to be a 2x2 tile for a bathroom look somewhere, or it's going to be our standard 5x8 sheets in a heavy duty commercial kitchen environment. We believe Protectol and Anyway are going to be a great fit for the Canadian environment. So I have a little bit early closure here, but please let me know if you have any questions. And thank you again for inviting me. Thanks again for Susan and Chris and Terry on this, and I'll stand by for questions.
Thank you very much, Mark. Okay, so let's see if there are any questions for Mark about Protectol flooring. I'll just check the Q&A, and I'll check the chat, and I'll check the attendee list. And I don't see any questions. We are about 10 minutes early. So if there's a little bit more about the applications that can be used, or a little bit more about your background, or a little bit more about how matting has, like examples of how matting has saved, been more cost effective for flooring because of protecting it, maybe something along those lines.
Yeah, those are great questions, Susan. And I will add to that, since I have a little extra time. The biggest challenge for most customers, especially on the back of the house, kitchen environment, is, how do you budget for floors? How do you budget for maintenance on a constant basis? And when you look at Protectol, it's just like Terry mentioned with his mats. You can rent a mat and constantly be recycling that mat and paying for the delivery charges and the rental charges, the environmental fees, et cetera. Well, the same goes with your quarry tile or your epoxy. You can be cheaper up front and work yourself into a budget, and then work yourself into maintaining that through some type of, every year you're putting down more grit on your epoxy, or you're constantly having to deal with grout or something to that nature, or broken tiles. Or you can potentially deal with lawsuits because maybe you put a cheaper mat in and it moved around on you and it caused somebody to trip on that. Or someone caught their foot on something on a broken tile back in your kitchen. Unfortunately, we have seen instances where customers have had chefs or sous chefs or people helping in the back kitchen that have slipped on their floors. And it happened here in Arizona in the last couple of years. Someone put their hand right into a deep fat fryer trying to catch himself. So, you pay for what you get in this environment. And we all know that with flooring is so true. And whether it's a great mat that you're putting down up front that says a lot about your store or your dealer network, what they're selling, it's no different with a floor in a commercial environment. One thing I cannot repeat enough is there's not an application that doesn't work for Protectol, especially if you're dealing with bodily fluids. We got a 4,000 square foot equine center we're drilling in. You talk about bodily fluids going down on the floor on a constant basis, we can put up with that. Clean rooms, hospitals, elevator cabs, another area for Protectol where they're constantly the moving of that. Food trucks. There's a wide variety of applications that Protectol can go. And I think there's a great tie-in with the other products that Anyway sells. But like I said, think about the environment, think about your durability, think about your long-term needs here of your customer. And I think you'll find that the combination of the mat that Terry sells and Chris, along with Protectol, are a fantastic fit. So we're always open for comments. You can definitely reach out to Chris and Terry. Please give me a call as well. I can be found on our Protectol website. But again, there's just not an application that we can't go into.
Fantastic. Now, I do have a comment here from Terry. He says that he wanted to add to your comment about trip and falls. He said something about 38 million in payouts last year due to poor matting or slippery flooring. So it sounds like it's quite worthwhile.
Absolutely. I mean, it's one of the biggest liability issues. And unfortunately, we are in a very litigated society these days. So any way you can reduce the chance of being sued is the money well worth spent.
Couldn't agree more. All right, let me just do one quick final check for any questions or comments or hands raised. All right. So thank you so much, Mark.
You're welcome.
Yes, I'll leave it at that. And thank you again.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Same to you.